Hi, I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about Parshat Shelach, which was this past Shabbos for everybody in Israel, but it's this upcoming Shabbat to be read in Chutz La'aretz, outside of Israel. And this is so pertinent and so important. And I want to focus on the beginning point, where that's the point of potential, to discuss what it was that happened and where it was that I think that the meraglim that they referred to in hindsight, the spies, went wrong, because they were sent latour to go and survey the land. And only, as God says, Shelach Aliyah, send for yourself, because apparently the people wanted to do this before they went in, and so God said okay. But if you look carefully, he gives very special conditions for them to do it, in order that if they're going to do this, which is, again, like I said, plan B, not what God really wanted them to do. I think God would have been delighted if they trusted in his word and just went in like he said. But since they requested it, he gave them the way to go about it to set them up for success. And that was, he said, Shelach Anashim. Anashim is the word used to indicate that there had to be men of repute, important people. And then it goes on to say it again. Ish echad, stressing a very important man, each one lamate, for his tribe. So there was a chief for every tribe, the one who was the leader of that tribe, that each tribe looked to and trusted, and would listen to their words. And then it goes on again to actually name every single one of these leaders that God told him to send out. And for me, it was interesting, because I remember thinking when I first read it, well, it's interesting that they mentioned each name, because usually the Torah is not so quick to defame somebody who did something wrong, but here it clearly gives each name. And I think that the point there is that, as I've said in the past, a name is an indication of the essence of who a person is, of all the potential, and that God is stressing at that point that each one of these people, calling them by name, by their essence, that they had the ability at this point in the game to bring out a report based on their expertise, based on their experience, based on who they were, to encourage the people and to build up their resolve and their excitement and their faith in themselves to enter the land. And that this was a critical juncture. We all have these critical junctures in our life where we have the fortitude, if we will allow ourselves, to make a change in our life, whether it be a small change or a huge change. And if we don't let the fear of change, which can be a very scary thing, if we don't let that overtake us, and we just believe in ourselves in the moment, have faith in ourselves, have faith in God, have faith in ourselves as being someone who God endows with strengths and talents and abilities, especially when it's something that God commands us to do, that we can be successful and it can be a wonderful, amazing experience. But it's human nature to let that fear paralyze us and get us down and focus on something, the negativity in something. Because, everything always has, we see there's people, we can take any situation, and there are always people who will focus on the positive and people who will focus on the negative. It can be the best of a situation, and those negative people will always find something wrong. It can be, you see people who are in the most difficult, trying times of their lives, and when you talk to them, they will focus on the positivity that they experience, the people that helped them through this moment in time, the growth here, whatever it is. And so it doesn't matter what you're actually going through. What matters is how you define it, how you experience it. We make a lot of our own reality, and it's so important when we're about to make a change, when we have an opportunity to make a change that's going to be beneficial, especially if God promises us this is going to be beneficial for us, to focus, to use our strengths and focus on the good, and take the steps head on. Now the people, they didn't do that. At this point, they failed miserably. They took all of their experience and they focused on the negativity where they did not have to do that. It says they took out dibara, they extracted. It's something that they defined themselves. It wasn't inherent in the situation, something bad. And that is where they went wrong. And that is such a downfall. That is such a tragedy. Leaders need to uplift, not to bring people down. And I want to say, because I really want to address now everybody out there who's still in Chutz La'aretz, who dreams of making Aliyah, that you can do it. You can do it. And I'll tell you, when I made Aliyah 16 years ago, that I heard every single negative thing that I didn't want to hear, and people telling me why I'm not going to succeed, why I'm going to fail, why it's bad, what's going to happen to me, my children, my husband's job, everything. And you know what I said? I just said, I shut them down in terms of, I did not let that information enter me. I didn't let it trigger or flare up any of my fears. I said, this is something I knew that I wanted to do, and I took it step by step. I said, I'm not going to, try and climb the whole mountain in a day. Today I have to fill out this paper. Tomorrow I have to go to this office. Today I have to, whatever it was, one thing by one thing. And each small thing on its own, if you take each moment, is very doable. And I'm telling you now that in the time of the Midbar, they didn't have people on the other side to help them. They had God, which was humongous, but they didn't take advantage of that. You have more than that. You have people here on the other side. I see people on Facebook every day that are out there saying, we will help you. You have people that want to help you. There are people that want you to succeed. We have so much land here. I went north the other week, and the major stretches of land that aren't inhabited, that are gorgeous when I headed north. I was just wanted to pack up my stuff and move there myself. Gorgeous lands, gorgeous communities, so much waiting here for the rest of our nation. And you can be successful, and you can do it if you want to. I'm telling you, step by step, positive attitude. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous land. It's a good land. We have everything now that you'd ever want. The best food, and the people are fun, loving, caring. I'm here to help, and you can do it. Don't listen to the negativity. You want to do it. Take one step at a time, one step, and it is doable. It is doable. And I pray for your success. And just keep that in mind. We're here. I'm going to go now so you can make that first phone call. Nefesh b'nefesh, waiting for you. Take care. Shavua tov.